You've seen this moment. A billion people saw this moment, but you didn't see it like this. This is the exact view of the person who decided what happened next. And at the 2026 World Cup, for the first time in history, they let us in. But the camera on the referee's head isn't the real story. The real story is where everything it sees actually goes. For over 100 years, football was watched from above. The God's eye view, distant, detached. The referee was a tiny figure in the middle of it all. And what they actually saw was a mystery. In 2026, that changed. Every referee at the World Cup walked onto the pitch wearing a tiny high-definition camera, mounted right at eye level. FIFA called it referee view, and it ran in all 104 matches. Suddenly, you weren't watching the game from the sky. You were standing in the middle of it, seeing players close space at full speed, the way only the referee ever could. It felt real, immediate, almost too real. Because here's the problem nobody talks about. Raw footage from a camera strapped to a sprinting human being is unwatchable. Every step is a jolt, every turn a blur. The human head is a terrible camera mount. So how did it end up looking this smooth on your screen? The answer is the first machine in our story. A company called Lenovo built a custom AI engine, the Referee View AI Stabilizer. It doesn't just smooth the shaking after the fact. It corrects the motion in real time as the referee runs, cutting the jitter by up to 50%. The view you trusted as raw and real was already being rewritten by an algorithm before it ever reached you. And that's the small version of a much bigger truth about this tournament. The camera on the referee's head is the part you can see. It's the friendly face of something much larger, an invisible nervous system wired into every pitch. Start with the ball. For 150 years, one question haunted football: the exact instant a ball. So they put a chip inside it. The 2026 match ball transmits 500 data points every second. It doesn't just get kicked anymore. It report. Then there are the players themselves. Around each pitch sit up to 14 specialized cameras, tracking 29 separate points on every single player's body, continuously. Every limb, every step, mapped, measured, and fed into the system in real time. And before the tournament even began, every player was scanned, turned into a precise 3D digital twin. When you see an offside decision rendered on screen, you're not watching the players. You're watching their digital ghosts. So, the ball is data, the players are data, the referee wears a camera, but none of it means anything unless you can move that data instantly. And that is where the hidden infrastructure comes in. Inside every stadium, a private 5G network was built, not for the fans, but for the game itself. Ultra low latency, just for the ref cams, the sensors, the tracking. A protected lane, walled off from the 50 terabytes of data the crowd burns through every match. Feeding a fiber backbone carrying 7 terabits of data per second. Out of the stadium, out to where? Here's the part almost no one watching at home realizes. The referee is standing on the grass in New York, or Dallas, or Mexico City, but the decision isn't really being made there. Every camera angle, every sensor feed, every ref cam, from every stadium across an entire continent, flows into a single building. One room, in Dallas, Texas. Inside, a video assistant referee, an assistant, and a replay operator sit in front of a wall of screens, watching every angle of a game happening thousands of kilometers away. The system flags a possible error automatically. A goal, a penalty, a red card. The referee on the pitch draws a box in the air and walks to the monitor. But by then, the machine had already seen it first. The man on the field gets the final word. The brain that found the moment is in a room he'll never stand in. So why do all of this? Why wire an entire sport like a spacecraft? The official answer is simple. Trust. For decades, fans screamed at decisions they couldn't understand. Now, for the first time, they can see almost exactly what the referee saw. The head of FIFA's referees committee said the results went beyond our expectations. And there's a quieter use for that camera too. After every match, referees can watch the game back through their own eyes, learning, improving, seeing what they missed. Something else happened too, something more human. When players realized they were being filmed up close, continuously, they started behaving differently. In one survey of officials, nearly half said players and fans acted differently once the cameras arrived. Half said they faced less abuse. The camera, it turns out, is a kind of quiet referee of its own. But a camera that records everything, records everyone. Not just the referee, the players, the coaches, the arguments, the words spoken in a moment players assumed was theirs alone. Who owns that footage? How long is it kept? When does a tool for fairness become a tool for surveillance? There are no clean answers yet. Just a camera that sees more every year and a game that feels a little more watched than it used to. This isn't a horror story. It's a trade. We gained a kind of transparency football never had. We just handed a little of the game's messy human soul to the machines in exchange. The 2026 World Cup will be remembered for the goals, the drama, the winners. But years from now, it may be remembered for something quieter. It was the moment the invisible machine layer of sport became visible, sitting right there on the referee's head. And this won't stay in football. Point of view cameras, total tracking, AI making the first call, humans confirming it. It's coming to every sport you watch, and eventually to places that aren't sport at all. The referee's camera is a preview, a world where the people in charge are always seen, and so is everyone else. So the next time you watch a game, remember this. You're not just watching the players anymore. You're watching everything that's watching them. This was BYTE. If you want to see the hidden machinery behind the technology running your world, subscribe. We're just getting started.